Hey guys, long time no see. Mo checking in with some pretty cool videos coming at you. It's Thursday, so as you guys know, I usually do a lot of uploading around the weekend, end of the week, sometimes beginning of the week. So I think I'm going to bring a new series to you guys, or it's kind of a series, and I'm going to call it Bodybuilding 101, which is not very creative, nothing special, but I don't want to assume the ability levels of all of the people that subscribe to me. So for anyone stumbling across YouTube, or for you guys especially, I would like to offer some general bodybuilding advice. Some of the stuff that I watch a lot of bodybuilding channels, and there's a lot of the same questions that get asked over and over again, which is fine, but that clearly means that there's some mix-up somewhere, right? And I do think in bodybuilding, you go on any website, T-Nation, bodybuilding.com, those are some simple ones. You're going to run into so much conflicting advice. So this is kind of just my take on things, and I don't want to make these videos too long, but if you have any additional questions, please, as I always say, Facebook me, or contact me on here, comments, inbox. I'm totally down. For any of you guys that have talked to me outside of these videos, I'm totally down to chat. No worries. So I thought I'd start the first video of the series with bulking and cutting, when to do them, how to calculate your macros for each. I think that's pretty important. So a lot of people, I think, get stuck on the idea of either bulking or cutting. I think a lot of people forget that you can maintain, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason, I don't think, as someone who doesn't plan on competing as a bodybuilder, to go on these continuous cut bulk cycles. I do encourage doing both at some point, so you learn how your body works. How to eat to gain muscle, how to eat to lose fat. But don't feel like you have to be doing one or the other all the time. So cutting. If you feel like your body fat, if you kind of are happy with your musculature, feel like your body fat's a little high and you want to cut down to see kind of what you got under there, want to find that six-pack in your cooler, there's nothing wrong with that. And that would be a great time to do a cut. That's what I'm doing right now for my sister's wedding, which is coming up in a week. Whereas bulking, it's a great thing to do. A lot of people do it in the winter time. And that's mostly because of the dynamics of when bodybuilding competitions are held. And also wintertime, depending on, how you celebrate or what your culture, you probably have Thanksgiving and Christmas and all kinds of other holidays that usually require a lot of eating, right? And it's usually cold outside, depending on where you live. It's harder to be active. So it's easy to bulk in the wintertime. You might as well, you're wearing long sleeves and sweats all the time. You might as well put on a couple pounds in an effort to add more muscle. Now, of course, you eat more on a bulk and you eat less on a cut. Now, most importantly for a bulk, a lot of people wonder why they don't get bigger. And the answer almost always is that you're not eating enough. I'm sure you're working hard in the gym, and I'm sure you're doing what you need to elicit muscle growth, but muscle is like living, active tissue, and you have to feed it, literally. You have to be in a caloric surplus in order for your body to say, okay, hey, I'm going to put energy into building this muscle, because it's not an easy thing to do. That's why it takes so long to build muscle. So you need to be in a caloric surplus. Now, for calculating said caloric surplus, I won't get into too much detail here. There's so many websites, and there's lots of different equations. There's the Catch-McArdle and the Mifflin-St. Jeor. There's a lot of equations, and you can use these internet calculators. Now, a lot of people in the bodybuilding community feel that they are inaccurate, and I would have to agree. It kind of depends on the person. They ask for your activity level. I think it might be the Catch-McArdle that asks for your body fat percentage, if you know it, which could be pretty makes that more accurate of an equation. But the best way to calculate your maintenance calories is to eat normally for a week. Absolutely normally. Just don't even think about it, but just record everything you eat. Record it on paper, record it on your phone, and at the end of that week, count up all the calories that you've had, however many thousands of calories that you've had. And of course, weigh yourself at the beginning of the week. And if at the end of the week, after eating normally, if you've gained, or lost no weight, if you're pretty much where you started, give or take a pound, water weight, then that is your maintenance. If you gained weight during that week, then cut that number down by about 250 to 500 calories. If you lost weight and you're trying to bulk, then add 250 to 500 calories to that number. That's the most accurate way to do it because everybody's bodies are different, and some little like internet calculator can't take into account all of our unique physiologies. As for macronutrient breakdowns, that's also becoming kind of a topic of controversial, and whether or not there's like a special ratio. There are typical ratios, and I think a popular one is 40-40-20. So 40% of those calories that we just established, 40% would go to your protein intake, 40% to carbohydrate intake, and 20% to your fat intake. That's a typical breakdown, but you can do any variation of that. I prefer a little bit higher fat, so maybe maybe add 10% more to the fat, but everyone's different, and everyone responds differently to their carb intake versus their protein intake. In my opinion, I think the most important thing to get down is your protein intake. Of course, don't take in like a whole bunch of fat, but I think the most important intake is your protein, and I would suggest getting in. This is also controversial. I would suggest getting in about 1 gram per pound of lean body weight or total body weight. I think that if you hit if you choose a protein intake anywhere between your lean body mass and your total body weight, I think you're doing well. I've actually just read this post on Facebook for this powerlifting channel that I follow, and they were actually saying 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. So you take your 1 kilogram, which is 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. So you would divide your pounds, your body weight by 2.2, and that would be your 1 gram of protein intake. And for me, that's like around 140, I think, if I remember right, 130, 140, unless I'm thinking of something else. And that's so much less intimidating than trying to get in 200 grams of protein. But definitely, protein intake, I think, is the most important. And then divide up your carbs and fats, however your body sees fit, however you react. So I think that's all I got. I kind of did this a spur of the moment. I really, really wanted to get some videos for you guys. If I missed anything or if anything's unclear, my dog is whining like a jerk because there's this kid like playing in the snow outside. If you didn't hear anything or if you want me to go over something, just let me know. And I'll keep this coming. I'm going to do a couple episodes on body parts, like, body parts and exercises for them in the gym, food preparation, and all kinds of stuff. So I'll catch you guys next time.